Hi guys, in this video we are going to learn about Docker dangling images. The term dangling is equivalent to unused. So dangling is, you can say, the fancy word, but if you take it in a simple way, so it's like unused images of Docker. So we are going to see how we can handle them, how we can remove them, and reclaim the spaces that is being consumed by those unused images. Okay, so let me pull the whiteboard. Okay, so we are going to talk about Docker dangling images. Let's suppose we are going to create an image, and that image we will tag it as a latest. I have created an image and tagged it as a latest. So now after creating or building the image, we will have the image ID for that image. Now after that, what we can do, we can do some changes in the Docker file from where we are creating this image, and then again we will rebuild the image using the same Docker file, but this time we have modified the Docker file. Then we are going to use the same image name and the tag name as well. Now we are having another image ID corresponding to the newly created image, but this time we have used the same tag what we had used earlier. So due to this, what will happen, this tag will be removed from the previous image. Now there will be no repository or tag name assigned to the image ID. So let me just remove this. So there is no repository and the tag details are available for this image ID. So instead of that, we will have like repository as none and tag as none. So now this image is unused image or dangling image, because we are not going to use this image because there is no need of it. Whatever the changes we required, that is available here in the latest one. So in this case, we need to remove this dangling images. So we will see those things in practical when we are at command line, but this is the concept about the dangling images. So just remember, dangling images are nothing but they are unused images which are not taking part of running any container, or any container from this image is not running. There is not a single container running from these images. Okay, so that's why they are unused and we need to wipe it off manually, because Docker is not going to remove them, and if you are not going to remove it, it means they are going to consume space on your system. I have created a Docker file with name Alpine. Alpine is another Linux distribution which is very simple and very small. So that's why this time instead of Ubuntu, I have taken Alpine for this example. I have taken Alpine as a base image, and then I have written one instruction to create a directory with name test, and then at the command line we are executing this command to return or print this message on the screen. So let's remove this one first. Okay, good. So now we will save this and we'll create an image as we discussed in the whiteboard. So let's verify first whether any image existing in this system or not. So there is no image at all in my system. So now we are going to build an image with tag latest. So let me hit enter. Okay, so now the image is built. If we verify, so we can see an image with the tag latest and the repository name as Alpine. As we discussed, right, we are going to modify something in that Docker file and we will rebuild this image again with the same repository and tag name. So here I'll just do undo to get the text back, and now we are going back to command line and we will rebuild this image. Here I have done the changes, so now the file is modified. Let's rebuild. Just run the same command again with the same information, with same repository and the tag name. We are having this error, so it's saying that file already exists. So in the previous slide, right, we have already created this directory, that's why we are having this error. So in this case we have to remove this line. Now let's rerun this. We have rebuilt the image with new Docker file where we have modified the Docker file instructions. So now let's see how many images are there as of now in my system. So there are 2 images in my system, and you can see I'm having an image with no repository and no tag defined. Okay, so this image is nothing, this image is unused and dangling image. Okay, so still we can use this image. If you want to run it, you can run it. You can run a container from this dangling image by using image id. You can see. Okay, so now the next thing is we need to understand how we can remove these images. There are 2 ways to delete images which are unused. So first let's list down them. Let's create more unused images. So to do that we have to do multiple changes in Docker file, and we need to rebuild the images. So let's say I just change this message from this to hello Docker. Okay, so this is one change. If I go here and do the same thing, okay, so let me repeat this process for 2-3 times because I want to have at least 3 or 4 unused images. So be with me. So now let's see how many dangling images are there. So we are having 4 dangling images. So now we need to learn how to remove them. So there are 2 ways to remove dangling images. The first way is you can use Docker image rm and the image id of the unused image. So this is the one way, and you have to put the image id manually for each unused image. So now if you don't want to go in this way, you have another approach that you can use, that is Docker image prone -a. So what it does, it identifies all the dangling images and it will remove them. So what is the condition of identifying or considering an image as a dangling image? No container should run from the image, then it would be a dangling image. So as of now, from these images there is not a single container up and running. So now if I just do Docker image ls, so now it has removed the Alpine latest as well. Why? Because you saw that, right? This is the condition. This will remove all images without at least one container associated with them, because we have not started any container from this. So that's why it has removed this one as well. So that's why before executing this command, make sure that your other images which you don't want to delete, they must have one container started, at any point of time. It should have one container, maybe stopped or running, that's not a problem, but one container should be associated with that image. Okay, so this is the way we can remove unused images. Now another thing I want to mention here is, like we have deleted the unused images, we can also delete unused networks, unused build cache as well, and as well as dangling images from one command. So that command is Docker system prone. So when you do Docker system prone, it gives a prompt where it mentions that this will remove all stopped containers, networks which are not having at least one container, all unused images, dangling images, and dangling means unused build cache which are not required in the system. So if you press Y, it will remove all of them based on these conditions. So now you can see it has reclaimed the space of 63 bytes. That's all for this video. If you really liked it, please hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, please do subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.